Hey guys, it's Paradise, and today we have another new weapon. It's the Gunlance, which I think most people are happy to see. And boy, oh boy, have they done it justice. There is a lot of changes, integrating more shelling, quicker stake reloads, and even these arcing or sweeping bursts. And I cannot emphasize enough how insane this new drill move looks. So if you love the Gunlance, you're gonna be eating well today. With a new weapon showcase dropping every single day, we have you guys covered with a video going over everything each day so you are caught up to speed. But let's jump into it, and first we get a nice closer look at the new Gunlance. And if you notice, the hunter appears to be wearing the ingot armor set, so that's pretty nice to see. Then of course we have the splash screen that I always love for every single weapon. The gameplay starts off with some nice standard poking and shooting against a Chatacabra, and after this we get to see what I believe is a new move which will be massive for Gunlance mains. It's a blast propelled sidestep that lets you quickly and easily reposition around the monster while also doing damage with your shells. This is super awesome to see. After this, we get to see what I believe is another new move. It seems similar to the burst fire, but it's executed in a sweeping arc swing instead of the overhead smash. This could be pretty awesome as a way to integrate dumping your shells while in the middle of a combo. And just to top it off, we then see the hunter finish with a worm stake impale. After this, we have a demonstration of why the Gunlance is the superior defensive option, maybe aside from the Lance, as it has this parry-style block and counter, similar to what was in Rise to my memory. This has a satisfying ding and flash noise, followed up by an overhead smash. Then we have a short clip of a charged shell attack, which is nice to see, and it appears you can do this while guarding, which is pretty sick, and it looks like you can charge them for an even longer period of time. It is going to be interesting to learn if the standard 3 shell types are going to be in the full game, or if they're going to add any extra types of shells. Personally, I think if they actually removed the shelling levels and just made the shells actually scale like they do for other weapons like the Charge Blade, then that would make the weapon much more enticing to actually main. So shelling levels will be an interesting thing to keep our eye on. And next up, we get to see the burst fire, which is an old move, but this time it appears like the shells actually go in a more vertical trajectory instead of all in one spot, so that's pretty cool to see. After this, we get a look at what appears to be a normal Wyvern's fire, but with a big charge up time and explosion, but the actual explosion itself also looks like it has a bit more range, which is really cool. And next up is perhaps the coolest new move we've seen out of everything so far. The hunter splits the Gunlance in half and a massive drill bit shoots out of the middle. With the Gunlance still in half and this massive drill bit on it, the hunter then repeatedly drills into a monster's weak points and wounds, dealing rapid damage, which looks like it will be very good for both burst damage and status effects. Of course, with status effects benefiting from rapid hits, this could be very good for it. And it looks like this is the Gunlance's new focus strike move as it's demonstrated on a monster's red wounds and weak points. This move does, however, look quite different from the teaser of the Gunlance's focus strike we got to see in the focus mode trailer, which left the monster impaled. So we're theorizing there might be different versions or different types of this move. We then got to see another showcase of the Wyvern fire and its massive explosion, which I love. And next we got to see the hunter lodge a worm stake and reload the Gunlance, which for a brief second shows the awesome drill bit animation during the reload, possibly also reloading the worm stake during this, and your shield glows white while reloading, just for a brief second, which might be some kind of new guard point while doing this, which would be insane. But then we see another type of burst fire, this time from the upper right to the lower left, which reinforces there may be these new ways to unload your shells. After this, the hunter goes into another worm stake, and during this holds the shield up, which also glows white, which I believe is new and could again be a guard point or some kind of guard while executing the move, which is gonna be insane for remaining offensive while doing all of this. And at the very end, we get a close-up of the hunter right in the Chatacabra's face, and then an explosive shot knocking it over, which I believe this might be the Clash finisher, but it is a short clip, so it's hard to tell. So what do you think of all of these crazy Gunlance changes? Tell us down below, and if you want to see some more Gunlance goodness, check out the full showcase here. Hey, just kidding, guys. I didn't put the wrong one in this time. Here is the Gunlance.